will give that child stone? And what parent, if the child asks for fish, will give that child snake? You'll never do that. So how much more our Father in heaven? You see, God is not only loving, caring, and desires to protect his children. He's also our provider. He's the one who provides for us. And that's what we read in Philippians 4:19. It says in Philippians 4:19 that my God, this is Paul again writing to the Philippian church, he says, and my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. Again, you see there, it is all your needs. My God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. So my question is there a limit to the riches of the glory of God in Christ? No. There is no limit to the riches of his glory in Christ. So Paul can confidently say here that my God will meet all your needs. God might not meet all our wants, but he will give us what we need according to his purpose and his plan for our lives. So God is not only a loving father, a caring father, he's not only our protector, he's also our provider. So this verse is telling us that God is more than able to meet all our needs. He's more than able to meet all our desires according to his will. And not only is God able to supply all our needs, Ephesians 3:20 tells us that he's able to do what? Exceedingly, abundantly, above anything. God can do exceedingly, abundantly, above anything that we ask or even think. Think about that for a second. We have a Father in heaven. We have a Father in heaven who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, infinitely more than anything that you and I can ask for or think. To be a child of God is not a small thing. To carry that identity as a child of God is not a small thing. To call God your Father is not a small thing. And not only can he do more than we ask or think, God knows what we need even before we ask. Isn't that mind-blowing? God knows what you need. He knows what I need. In his omniscience, he knows all that we need, everything that we will ever need. He formed us in the womb of our mothers. He knew every single day of our lives before they unfolded. He knew every event that will unfold in our lives. Therefore, he knows everything that we will need, even before we know. And that's exactly what Christ says in Matthew 6, isn't it? In Matthew 6, verse 7, and Jesus said, he says, and when you pray, do not keep on babbling like pagans, for they think that they will be heard because of their many words. Verse 8, do not be like them. Why? For your Father in heaven knows what you need before you ask him. Your Father in heaven knows what you need before you ask him. God not only is our provider, he's not only able to supply all our needs, he's not only able to do infinitely more than what we ask or think, but he knows every single thing that we need even before we ask. And all of this points to nothing but the nature of God, the goodness of God, the love of God, the character of God. And God not only knows what we need, but he knows what is best for us. As a parent will do what is best for their children, our Father in heaven knows what is best for us, even more than we ourselves. So therefore, what is important? If God knows what is best for us, and if he's able to supply our needs even before we ask, what is important, therefore, is that we are able to ask according to the will of God. We must ask according to the will of God and surrender to the will of God. If God knows what is best for us, it is very important that we're able to ask. When we petition, it must be in accordance to his will. And we must surrender to his will. And what does 1 John 5 tell us about this? We must be able to ask according to the will of God and surrender to the will of God. It says this, 1 John chapter 5.